Good evening, SynergyPWR viewers across the world. Welcome to SynergyPWR People's World Racing, and welcome to this. It's round number 3 at the Vietnam Grand Prix here in Hanoi. $15 drivers here for this Division 1 race here tonight. I'm looking forward to being with you every step of the way here for this Division 1 race here tonight. And for certainly what things are set out in motion here for one hell of a race. We do have some Division 2 drivers popping back in as well after getting their toe in the water, if you will, of this circuit. However, Division 1 drivers also out there ready and waiting to go. You may remember FFR Hamilton managing to snag that win at the Bahrain Grand Prix last week, managing to take top step of that podium. Means he takes top step of the championship. At the moment, 37 points separating him from V. Recluse and Tapita, both on 27. AMS Dan, the current defending world champion, in 4th at the moment on 18. Not the best start for him or his teammate, actually, who has yet to score at the moment. COR Mulan on his return to SynergyPWR in 5th place, joint with FFR Brian and Hoonigan, all on 12. Just on board with Hoonigan at the moment, actually on an outlap on that medium tyre at the moment. And with the 15 drivers, obviously no Q1 needed, so we're going straight through to Q2. And on board with Hoonigan at the moment, clearly locking up at the moment, struggling around this circuit. Give some good analysis here, saying the two-stop is the strategy to be on, and certainly people found that starting on that medium tyre was the better strategy. And they're double stinting a set of softs. Either way, remember here at SynergyPWR, strict corner cutting for the drivers in SynergyPWR Division 1, regular in Division 2, so that poses a new challenge for those Division 2 drivers. And a big welcome return as well to the Mercedes driver, Vicolas, as well, in the Mercedes. Currently on away on holiday he was during the Australian and Bahrain Grand Prix, but the Mercedes driver now back in action. And number 34 looking to try and maximise his potential in SynergyPWR Division 1. Remember, he is the Division 2 champion from last season. It'll be interesting to see how he moulds. Other people around the circuit as well, including COR Mulan. He's returned to SynergyPWR in the Red Bull. And not a bad season so far for him at the moment as well. Currently on 12 points, joint 5th, 6th and 7th respectively. And he gets 5th on the virtue of managing to secure that 4th place at Australia. And a DNF at Bahrain actually puts him in 5th place because Brian did not turn up to the Australian Grand Prix, and that's why he's one step lower. And not a 3rd place handed out so far this season as well. That went to Division 2 drivers. Sufyan managing to get an excellent P3 at Bahrain. And he was on his way to winning, you suspected, the Bahrain Grand Prix. But spoiler alert, he didn't. The only driver to get into the 1 minute 33s in Division 2. And that happened in Q3 on his final fast run. FFR Hamilton already on the brink here. 1 minute 34.350 in the Alpha Tauri. Here comes COR Mulan. The engine rev glitch, that does not sound healthy. We're a little bit too close to the wall. I think he got a little bit agitated heading into the corner there, but smooth sailing for the Red Bull. I want to try and maximise his potential if he can around this final selection of corner here. Got to avoid the wall. He does so very nicely. P3. 35.3 for the Red Bull. Nice turning back as well. COR Mulan on his return. Red Bull driver actually partnered with teammate V. Recluse. He was a favourite for the Division 1 title this season. Currently, as it stands, he's up there. Joint 2nd place at the moment, 8 points behind FFR Hamilton. And dropping to 9th place in the end at the Bahrain Grand Prix after winning at Australia. So where is he going to be able to put himself in their correspondence with the Alpha Tauri? He's on an outlap at the moment, though. Good effort though from COR Mulan. P3 for him. There's a couple of tenths behind on Hoonigan. 4:03. A little mistake on his outlap there. A bit of lag actually coming from V Recluse. FFR Hamilton, as I said though, 34.3 at the moment. He's leading the way by quite a long way as well. PWR Sonic in the chat as well. Good evening to yourself, young sir. Up again to send his regards to the Division 2 drivers who are looking mighty fast, weren't they, in the race and qualifying as well, actually, last night. Oh, a little bit close to the curve for V Recluse. Got to be careful there. DRS open, though, for the Honda-powered Red Bull. That'll be a corner cut right there, and that's V Recluse out of Q2 as it stands at the moment. Still yet to set a lap. He is on that medium tyre at the moment. Take a look at the tyre situation at the moment, and the best lap time set from FFR Hamilton was on that soft tyre. Hoonigan starting on the medium. COR Mulan also deciding to use the soft, but 4th all the way through to 7th on the medium. Richie Evans setting the soft tyre as well, but he's on a 39.24 at the moment. Remember, he is a Division 2 driver. Drivers in and around, also yet to set a lap as well. There's Sufjan in the Ferrari, just around to come around the corner here. It's a car that he used in Division 2. He comes across the line now. P6, 36.2. About 2.5 seconds down on his fastest lap time in Q3 last night. Albeit he is on that medium tyre. That's the AMS Renault driver. It's AMS Dan. Purple Sector 1. Sector 2 rather, looking sharp. And the Renault looking to try and hold on if he can to his championship this season. It was his first championship in SynergyPWR. Narrowly beating his teammate in the AMS Cookie, or rather PWR Cookie, but also an AMS driver. Driving for the AMS Renault team. It's going to be interesting to see where Dan puts himself in correspondence to Cookie. They were close last season. Are they any closer together now? Both on the medium tyre. He comes across the line now, and he does go above Cookie. 35.9. But 8 tenths down, crucially, on Hoonigan, who sets that 35.1 on the medium tyre. It's a good lap, actually, from the Ferrari driver. And the South African will be very happy with this performance so far in this qualifying session. Here's PWR Hamster. And he is the Division 2 driver here in SynergyPWR Division 1. He's just approaching into Turn 1 now, is the Williams. He usually drives the McLaren in Division 2. Of course, the Division 2 drivers sit themselves where they like. You may be wondering the question, why Division 2 drivers sit themselves in Division 1, and the main reason is because it gives them the experience. Of course, Division 2 drivers, slightly different rules. They've got the regular corner cutting and so on, which obviously means that there's a completely different experience for them. So as well as on track, they also want to know what it's like to actually be in Division 2, or rather in Division 1. And Hamster currently doing a very good job actually in Division 2 at the moment. The Division 2 driver in P3 at the moment, so he's actually in a promotion spot, so he would actually be promoted to Division 1 as it stands. So this is some good experience for the Division 2 driver rather, to get some Division 1 experience. Currently yet to set a lap though, alongside Paul Davey as well. Both Division 2 drivers, of course. And number 85 looking to try and power his way through the second sector. Naturally not the fastest of anyone so far, but looking to keep his foot planted to the floor if he can. He goes, heads to 18, and then 19, 20, 21, and then turn 22. Looks to me a very solid lap here from PWR Hamster, Division 2 driver, looking to try and get himself into Q3. Did a good job at Bahrain. We'll be able to replicate that here. Comes across the line now, and it's only P12 with 1 minute 37.3, so looking to try and set a banker. Did PWR Hamster, but not fast enough at the moment to get himself out of Q1, or Q2 rather. Paul Davey and the other Williams as well, looking to try and benefit as well if he can, but he's struggling out there at the moment. Looks to be a bit of understeer. Not sure if he's actually hit the wall or anything. Doesn't look like it here. That was a complete obliteration. I don't know what he was going through. Turn 22. What was that for a corner? Heading through 22 as he starts his lap again. Currently, as it stands, he'll be starting P14 as CSR Pez has retired in the pits in P11, so he's decided he's not going to go out, and he's not going to go out and try again. Interesting stuff from Pez. So he's not going through at the moment as it stands. Vickless at the moment as it stands will be just through. Of course, PWR Hamster looking to try and find a bit more time where he can. CO Mulan also out on a lap at the moment, but it is invalid. And now the straight now is Mulan, of course, like I said, invalid lap at the moment for the Red Bull. So he'll just be cruising around, trying to get himself back to the start to have another go. Note he is on that medium tyre though. He has swapped to the... He did do the original lap on the soft tyre. Not sure if he thinks he can be any faster on the medium tyre. It'll be one hell of a lap if he can. Either way, the Red Bull Honda looking to try and start on the medium tyre by the looks of things. We did see the better strategy call from those who started on the medium tyre. It was a soft tyre start for C. Davies, who was on his way to potentially a good finish. Unfortunately, being on that soft tyre at the start cost him in his middle stint with that medium tyre, and he only managed to get what was going to be looking like a P3, but in the end he went off the podium. That was Division 2, and if you are interested in looking at the Division 2 race, it is on our Twitch stream. Take a look after this one. Mulan now on a lap, and the number 35 looking to try and maximise the potential out of those medium tyres if he can. Takes the wider line. Looks to be playing very gingerly with that accelerator. Mr. DeLorean also retires from the session. He's in P8 at the moment. He should be happy with that, I think. Hamster also retiring. Looks like he's retired in the pits, actually. So Hamster will be starting maximum P12. It's not the first time as well that we saw PWR Hamster struggling with sort of time management in Q2. Paul Davey yet to set a lap at the moment, and he's absolutely breezing through the first sector and getting into the second now, down the straight in the Williams. Hoonigan retires as well in the pit, so I'd be happy with that lap time as well on a medium time. 35.1, good effort from the Ferrari. Could be on for pole here, could the Ferrari runner. South African looking some good points here as Vickless lets Paul Davey through, as does Mulan. It's pretty very gingerly. Looks like he's got a little bit of understeer though, heading through 18 and 19. Might struggle here as he heads through 20 and then 21. You can see the cars wanting to wash out wide and heading into 22. Again, washing out wide and missing that apex. It's not going to be a good lap, I don't think, here from Paul Davey, but it will be the first to finish a lap here. It is only P13 for Paul Davey, 1 minute 38 on the medium tyre. We'll have the fresh tyre to start on though, so those old medium tyres will not be a problem for him. It's PWR Cookie at the moment in the AMS Renault. Cutting every corner galore at the moment. I think he's out of the running here. And he enters the pits. He knows he's out of time. And that's him out of the running. Looks had to be saved for his teammate though. AMS Dan looking strong. Second sector purple at the moment. He is choosing to move on to the soft tyre. Was called the weaker strategy starting on the soft tyre, but he is looking to try and maximise as much as he can on the soft tyre. Will he be able to beat FFR Hamilton? He was fastest in that second sector. It'll be interesting to see here because he might put up a bit of a show here when it comes to the positions in Q3. Locks up a little bit through 22 into 23. He's hit the wall. That might be his time compromise. He comes across the line now. 34.4 for AMS Dan, and he's hit the wall doing so. No doubt that would have been well into the 33s if it wasn't for that mistake. It turned 23. What a shame. What a shame indeed. He is going to be starting on that soft tyre though. And we wait for V Recluse and Morgan 4S. Not bad lap times for themselves as well. 35.4 for V Recluse. 3/10 down on Hoonigan on the medium tyre. And 1/10 down on COR Mulan, who's on the soft. Just goes to show a mighty fast lap from Hoonigan 403. we just wait for Morgan Forrest to retire, we'll then head through into Q3. Seconds to go in this Division 1 countdown. Still waiting on Morgan Forrest to retire. As he does retire off there, we can head a look and have a look at these Q2 times at the moment. The people in the top 10 going through to Q3. FFR Hamilton starts on the softs with AMS Dan, a 10th.5 down, but he did make that mistake at turn 23. He'll be disappointed with that one. It's a risky strategy change, he says as well in the chat. Hoonigan starts in P3, he's going to have P3 on the medium tyre with a 35.1. Good effort actually from the South African. And the Englishman, COR Mulan in the Red Bull, 1 minute 35.3, also on the soft tyre as well. Again, a bold course starting on that soft tyre, not the ideal strategy. V Recluse will be in 5th after that with a second down actually on FFR Hamilton on the mediums. Morgan Forrest also starting on the mediums. Cookie starts on the mediums as well. You've got DeLorean on the mediums, Suffian on the mediums, and Vicolas also on the mediums. He's through to Q3 on his first race in Division 1. And then taking a look at the back, you've got CSR Pairs, Hamster, Paul Davey, Richie Evans, and Vozai all out of the running. Interesting stuff from Peter O'Dan, claiming that he reckons there'll be a safety car on lap 1, and that's what he's basing his strategy on, to go into a double stint medium. It's going to be interesting to see if that works. Either way, 12 minutes of Q3 will be stopping him from racing so far, and he does have to get out there and maximise his potential. Certainly going to make for an interesting scenario, Paul Davey. Except the safety car will be for you, Dan. Now you wish I can make it happen. Now, rather you didn't, Paul. Don't think anyone wants that. So I see people leave here now for this Q3 run. And the first person will be the McLaren of Morgan Forrest, who leaves the pits now. Going to be very important that these drivers don't make that mistake of having too much over-rotation on the rear. Especially going around turn 1. If you park yourself right in front of that pit lane exit, it will automatically disqualify you. Ibrahim in the chat as well. And good evening to yourself, sir. Sorry to see that you didn't manage to get through to Q3. He claims there'll be 5 DNFs tonight. Division 2 handled themselves well last night, though, so you reckon Division 1 are going to be struggling a little bit more? We'll have to see. Paul Davey, no, Jota, I'm only joking. Well. Debatable at times with you, Paul. 10.5 minutes to go, though. Drivers still on their outlaps at the moment, and I will say now, Division 1 very, very tight. I think a lot of people were sort of calling straight away V Recluse, Tapita to be up there fighting for the championship, and it will only be them two, but at the moment you've got a pretty close fight. Only 2 rounds have gone, but FFR Hamilton, V Recluse and Tapita all within sort of 8 points of each other, and V Recluse and Tapita are not actually only separated by positions actually. The fact that V Recluse has actually got a win and Tapita doesn't is the reason why he's in front. AMS Dan on 18 points, Mulan on 12, and Bryant on 12, and Hoonigan on 12 as well. So a really, really top sort of fight at the moment happening between those top 6 positions for potential outside league activity. Set to 2 yellow flags waved as well, and that is for a Mercedes, I believe. And maybe a Ferrari as well. Very, very slow at the moment. I think they're just letting drivers through. Hopefully no issues caused there. Back to Morgan, though, in the McLaren. The Renault Power car looking to keep pushing on. Nice to have the name Morgan Forrest back in Synergy as well, isn't it? Been a while since we last saw him. Goes down the straight now. I call it the straight, not straight, actually. Taking the leaf out of the clocks and Hammond and May books. He comes around the hairpin now, though. They had around turn 22 and turn 23 with the first person set a lap, and it will be followed by the Renault. Cross line now, it's a 1 minute 34.9. Here comes Dan, 34.4, half a second faster. Got another Renault coming around the corner, I believe. Here comes Cookie, goes even faster, 4/10 of a second for a matter, 34.0. Already started to see 33s. Here comes V Recluse, 34.0 for him as well. He's 200s down on Cookie at the moment as well. So these drivers are actually very, very up close and personal. Sufjan on an invalid lap. Hoonigan also coming around as well, and he was mighty fast on that medium tyre. Will he be able to push into the 33s with the soft? Here comes Vicolas, 33.9 for the Division 2 World Champion from last season. I think that's Hoonigan crashing into the wall. That'll be a loss of time. I don't think he'll have any damage though. Full damage on the street circuits, and it's Hoonigan with a 34.2. I think he knows he's got a little bit more pace in the car than that. But I think he was on for pole there, and that one mistake at turn 22 has cost him it, and he's down in 4th. Sufjan should have been really the sort of winner of the last race here at Vietnam last night. The poor strategy call put him behind PWR Derby, and ever since he just could not keep up. The DRS is open now. Sufjan will have another go. I want to at least get a banker lap, and he don't really want to be starting P10. FFR Hamilton choosing not to take the banker lap, so he's actually going to be coming in for a fresh tyres, and his one and only lap will be his hottest lap if he can. Pushing hard down the DRS straight. Purple sector 1 for the Sufjan. For the Suf. As Vozai reconnects back into the session. She'll be starting P15. Absolutely blistering down the straight. Ferrari-powered engine, of course. Real life F1 would suggest that they'd be struggling down here, but of course this isn't real life. All equal cars here. Misses his apex, though. It's going to cost him some time. Right-hander of 16. And keep your foot planted down as much as you can. And make sure you've got the bravery as he heads through 18 into 19. Clips the curb very nicely, actually. Heads through 20, 21. Now at 22 is where we saw his teammate struggle. He doesn't show that much. He could probably put a bit more power on a lot earlier, actually, as he comes through 23 now. DRS open as he comes across the line. Only P6, 34.0 for Sufjan. Actually 9/10 down on his fastest lap here in Division 2 last night. So not replicating the same pace that he could. Other people on outlaps at the moment. One of those being FFR Hamilton. Real opportunity as well for the guys at the top, especially FFR Hamilton. As with Tapperton not racing in second place, he needs to try and outstretch himself against V Recluse, and he can stretch his lead out in the championship. Good effort from him so far. Come up as a bit of a dark horse in this championship. Will he be able to snag pole though? He needs to get into the 33s if he wants to do it. Division 2 managed to get into the P2s, and there to me look very much as if he's struggling with that rear at the moment. And I suspect he's going to be surely not continuing with that lap. It is valid still. But again, that setup looking very, very weak on the rear, and you really, really do not want to have a loose rear end around here. Like I said, Hamilton has the opportunity here to stretch out his lead in the championship, but he does need to finish in front of V. Recluse. And if it is a damage limitation race, he needs to be within at least 9 points of him. But to me, very much looks like it is a time trial setup. Peter Dan agreeing, looks like a TT setup. P5 at the moment for yourself, AMS Dan. Not a bad effort. FFR Hamilton, though, coming across with the fastest second sector of anyone so far. And the number 22 AlphaTauri again really struggling with that rear end. He's really, really snappy on that rear. Maybe what he wants, but in doing so, he's going to be a little bit cautious around these corners. Tries to man that curve well, does a good job actually, and he hugs this inside line, spits the car out wide so he can come in again, have that apex, and it's perfect even with the lockup. Comes through 22 into 23. Will that mess up at turn 1, cost him a potential chance of pole? He comes across the line now. He still gets pole by 1/10 of a second, despite the fact he made that mistake in the first sector. Great effort from the AlphaTauri. Of course, the driver's still yet to go out. We've still got 2.5 minutes yet to go in this particular qualifying session. Doesn't necessarily mean he's got pole straight away, but even with that mistake at turn 1, he's managed to get himself into the 33.8s. Good effort. PWR Clap also connecting into the session here for tonight's race. So he'll be starting from the back in P16. Back aboard again with COR Mulan. P8 at the moment as well. Actually behind the Division 2 driver, Sufyan at the moment. 1 minute 34.819 puts him 12 thousandths of a second down. But he is fastest in the first sector apparently, so it's a good effort. He has wanted to keep it steady, clipping those curbs very nicely as well. Remember, strict corner cutting, yes, he's really pushing the limits if he can. Heads through the loop now and down the straight, not straight. Great effort though from the Red Bull. So far in P8, needs to find a little bit more pace. Second fastest sector as well, looking sharp here as the Red Bull as he's just collided into the wall. Not sure if that's given him wing damage, it has done. He's missing the end plate on the left hand side. He'll be disappointed with that because he was on with fastest first and second sector, but he's going to lose all the time and where he needs his front wing. He's off the track. Surely now that this lap is going to be a really poor one here. That's really unlucky there from Mulan, losing the rear again. It's 2 yellow flag waves as people trying to get through. He hits the wall again. I think that's going to cost him time. He comes across the line and he's 2/10 down in the end. I think he knew he cocked that one up. That's a sad time for the Red Bull. He'll be disappointed with that. He knows he's got more pace in him. The drivers around at the moment on hot laps, including AMS Dan. Just started his lap now through turn 1. Looks like he mucked it up a little bit, climbing onto the curbs. Don't want to do that. Takes a wider line, misses the apex at 2, but it might cost him a bit of time heading through 3 and 4, and it'll cost him all the way down this straight. Hamilton commented in the chat. So disappointed with the second corner. Got himself pole at the moment. But only by 1/10 of a second, and anyone could claim that 1/10. That's all they need to find. That might have cost him potentially a chance of that front step. As we just see the checkered flag now waving. And the first person to come across the line will be AMS Dan. And a big happy birthday as well to PWR Clap. Oh, lock up from AMS Dan. Yeah, big happy birthday there to PWR Clap Racing on his birthday here tonight. People in the chat saying they need to breathalyze him. Bernie says don't drink and drive. AMS Dan locking up again, but this time on the rears a little bit as he heads through 20 into 21. Here's 22, sector 2 yellow flags waved again for drivers letting them through on the straight. Will AMS Dan be able to improve? He didn't have the best second sector. He's going to come across the line now, and he isn't going to improve. His 26,000s down on his fastest lap here, as that is a really big disappointing as Vida Recluse goes fastest. 33.1 from the Red Bull driver. Absolutely outstanding. 7/10 of a second on FFR Hamilton, and I'm sure Hamilton knows that he could have found all that time in that first sector. He'll be disappointed with that one. Here's Cookie also on an invalid lap. Hoonigan is as well. Mulan now in the pits, and I have a sneaking suspicion that is actually now qualifying over. Nicholas also entering in the pits as well. He can't improve his lap time. In the end, we have Sufjan replicating his 33.9 in Division 2. He's been P4. Vicolas also 33.9 in P3. You've got Hamilton in second, 33.8. But V Recluse, 33.1 in that Red Bull. Great effort from the Red Bull. Hamilton just taking a look actually at his qualifying results, and he was actually 6/10 down as a result of that first sector. That would have put him on par here with V Recluse. It just shows you though that there's going to be good racing into turn 1 between those two. V Recluse on pole with a 33.1, very close to the 32s. Great effort from the Red Bull driver. FFR Hamilton in P2 for AlphaTauri. It's Vicolas in third for the Mercedes runners. Sufjan in fourth. Cookie's in fifth. Hoonigan is in sixth. Morgan 4S in seventh. Amos Dan in eighth. PWR DeLorean is the second Division 2 driver in Q3. He goes in P9, and Mulan will be disappointed with his performance in Q3. He starts in P10. Official start time already announced by the administrator, 20:41. That gives us a short 5-minute break to chill out and relax and enjoy what was an absolutely epic qualifying session. And we can also reflect back also on Q2. A bit muggy conditions as well here in Vietnam. A great qualifying session and a great race as well from the Division 2 runners last night. In the end, it did go to PWR Derby. Some solid points there from PWR Derby in Division 2 as well. That means he goes top of the championship on 50 points. J Wills on 45. Hamster on 38. And you've got Clapp on 32. Hayes on 29. Tom and Paul sharing 20 points apiece, as PWR Clapp has readied up a bit too early for this race. It's a 2-second penalty straight away. We'll be back for this Division 1 race. SynergyPWR viewers across the world, welcome to SynergyPWR People's World Racing, and welcome to round number 3. It is the Vietnam Grand Prix. Can't wait to be alongside you for this amazing race here tonight. Predicted pit stop strategy for the medium runners. It's a medium, it's a soft, and it's a soft tie to the end of this race. But muggy conditions all around could make for a very interesting spectacle, especially when it comes to the tyre strategies. It is V Recluse leading the way in first place, and then it's FFR Hamilton. But curiously, he does start on that soft tyre tonight, and that soft tyre will cost him potentially. It is a bit of a riskier strategy starting on the soft, because it means you're going to have to do a majority of your race on the medium stint right in the middle of the race. Unless he chooses to do a double stint on the softs and does medium towards the end. But of course it will compromise his last run. But he does start on that soft tyre. Nicholas in third at the moment on his debut here tonight in Division 1. That's Division 2 World Champion from Season 3. And he starts on the mediums tonight alongside Sufjan, also on the mediums in Division 2 driver, replicating his 33.9. PWR Cookie starts 5th. You've got Hoonigan in 6th, Morgan in 7th. You've got Dan in 8th. DeLorean will be happy with the Q3 appearance in 9th, and Mulan will be disappointed with his Q3 performance in 10th. CSR Pez is deciding not to go out at the end of Q2. He starts P11 tonight, and he's choosing to start on that medium tyre, as is PWR Hamster. And it's Paul Davey in 13th place, and you've got Richie Evans in 14th. You've got Vosai in 15th place, and then PWR Clapp in 16th, who currently is actually in the wrong position at the moment and could end up facing a penalty if he doesn't return back to his 16th place position before he returns to the grid. Of course, it does mean that he is on a formation lap misconduct. Unless there may have been a mistake actually towards the back. PWR Clapp is actually in the sort of bad situation there. Morgan Forrest asking if we're restarting. That's down to the admin to decide. Don't think we are though, because the drivers are lining up on the grid. And with the drivers lined up, we're counting down the lights. It's 1, it's 2, it's 3, it's 4, and it's 5 lights. It's 5 lights, and they are a go. The drivers, here they are, and here we have a good start here from V Recluse, trying to back off here from FFR Hamilton, who's trying to make a very good effort up on the inside. Here he goes into turn 1, does the AlphaTauri, and it looks to me as if FFR Hamilton's had an absolutely blistering start and puts himself right into the lead of this race at the moment. Very strong stuff on that soft tyre. Then you've got V Recluse in second, Hoonigan's in third, and then followed with the other Ferrari in fourth. It's Dan in fifth. Looks like there's a bit of an incident to the back. I'm not sure what's happened there. It looks like to be a Vosai has got into an enormous incident heading through turn 4, turn 5, and it's a massive amount of debris on the track as well. It looked to me a spinning out McLaren. Not sure what happened there, but she's down now all the way in 16th place. Yeah, disappointing stuff from the McLaren on her return back to SynergyPWR. And they got FFR Hamilton in first, then it's V Recluse, Hoonigan, Sufjan, Dan, Vicolas, Morgan, Mulan, DeLorean and Pez. 3 positions gained from Hoonigan as well, actually. It's a good effort here from the Ferrari driver. The South African wanted to get the best he can from this Ferrari, and to me it looks very much as if he's looking strong on this medium tyre. He did in Q2 rather, as well. Looks mighty quick on the medium tyre, not so much on the soft. So I want to try and get the best out of this first strategy if we can. Only way that Vosai is going to be able to get back into this race, I think, is by a safety car. As Pez comes into the pits, Hamilton fastest lap of the race, naturally, 1:41.639. No DRS enabled, obviously, until the third lap. This is only the second, and there's a predicted pit stop strategy again for the medium runners. And so double stops in predicted here for Hoonigan, who is now in front of FFR Hamilton, according to our timing screens, even though that is not true. FFR Hamilton is in the lead of this race at the moment, followed by V Recluse there. Hoonigan, now it's been fixed. Red Bull big lock up there. The Hoonigan is looking mighty quick on this medium tyre at the moment. V Recluse not looking so strong. It's a good effort here from these drivers. Very, very good effort from these drivers here at the moment as we head through onto the second lap. Or heading onto the third rather, and a bit of a battle happening here for P4 as AMS Dan and Sufjan getting into a bit of a mix here. Looks very strong here potentially from these drivers, and a bit of a dive up the inside here from the Renault, looking very strong. A little bit of a tap there as well. Not so sure what's happening here, but he does manage to get through. A lock up again from AMS Dan. But he is on that soft tyre as well as Dan, so you want to try and get past all these medium runners. He's got a little bit of clean air before getting in the back of Hoonigan. He is in fourth at the moment, is the defending champion. Hoonigan starting now to back off of V Recluse. With FFR Hamilton looking very strong now on that soft tyre, pulling a gap, 3.1 seconds. DRS now enabled. Very good at the moment though is Hoonigan now with the DRS open. And the overtake available, might be able to get close here, but Vivacluz is really now starting to push. You don't blame him. So we've got some more corner cuts happening there. Hoonigan cutting all those corners there. No doubt a couple of warnings there for the Ferrari. He's wanted to stay on the back of Vivacluz, and you really can't blame him for that, because he is looking strong at the moment. PWR Clap now in the pits. Vosai manages the overtake as a result of that. The Ferrari looking to try and make a potential move here. It might make the dive going into the next corner. He can't do so. Locks up as a result. Just did not have the pace and did not have the energy in the car to make that move. But he's looking still strong, and the VSC has come out. And I believe the VSC has come out as a result. Maybe of these drivers, not sure. Either way, 3-second penalty for CSR Pez. And it looks to me as it might be because of the result of Pez, actually, because he does actually have major front wing damage. He will need to pit again, and he's on hard tyres as well, so he's already pitted at the moment. Take a look at the current pit stop situation. You can see there he is actually already stopped. Has CSR Pez. And the drive-through penalty for Vivacluz. He's sped under the virtual safety car, and that's completely changed the whole complexion of the race. They'll not be happy about that situation. Sector 2 yellow flags waved again, and that is for a spinning car, I believe, at the turn here. Here comes AMS Dan, though, on Hoonigan. And AMS Dan making that move stick. And now his next target will be Vivacluz, but he has got that drive-through penalty now as the Red Bull. That may have cost him the win here. Dan will be happy with his current position, but he is on that weaker strategy. Remember, he will need to do a second stint at some point on the mediums. As unless he chooses to do the one stop on the hards, which is heroic, to say the least. More potential battles happening at the back here as well. PWR Hamster and Cookie getting into a little bit of a scrap at the moment, and the AMS Renault looking to try and hold on to P9. Of course, brutal stuff at the moment happening here with PWR Cookie after that amazing incident at Bahrain, where he went flying, didn't he, going through turn 4. It was deemed, unfortunately, an internet connection issue with him, though. Got a reprimand for it. So how funny it is, losing that rear, though. Too quick on the gas there. That might invite Hamster into the mix here. The Vision 2 driver looking to try and get a good points finish here. He's on for taking a point off of the Division 1 drivers. He could be taking a couple here if he gets it past Cookie. As it looks to me as Vivacluz and Hoonigan are both pitting, and I believe that is to serve his drive-through penalty. I think Hoonigan is not serving a drive-through. He's getting a brand new front wing, and he's actually moving on to a different tyre now. Actually, we'll switch to the tyre situation at the moment, and he's on another set of medium tyres now. So Vivacluz has now served his drive-through penalty. He's now down to 9th, so Red Bull not having the best of starts to this race here. Division 2 will be happy with the situation, though, at the moment. P5, P6, and P8, respectively. Good efforts from the Division 2 drivers here. Taking some good points off the Division 1 drivers here tonight, and gives them the extra challenge of making sure that they race ahead of them. Here's Sufyan, Division 2 driver, looking to try and get anywhere near Morgan Forrest. They're on the same age tyre at the moment, and they overtake, and the DRS will now be active here for the Ferrari. And he's looking mighty quick here. Comes the Ferrari, might make a move upon the inside here. Going to try and hold on if he can. And I don't think Morgan Forrest is going to have anything left to hold off here. He's going to go around the outside to try and defend it, but he's going to get squeezed. And Morgan has been relegated to 5th. That's 12 points being taken off already. And I think we've got a spinning car again at the back. And it looks to be the birthday boy. PWR Clap has spun it at turn 1. Struggling out there at the moment actually is the Racing Point. It looks to be as if... Not sure exactly what he's doing at the moment. We're losing the rears quite significantly at the moment. He's struggling out there at the moment, actually, is PWR Clap. I'm not sure as to why, what's happening with the Division 2 driver. It looks to me it might have actually overheated the rear tyres at the moment, because that rear is very unstable. keep on with the battle at the moment in P9. And that is PWR Hamster pitting. Fresh. In fact, no, it's not fresh medium tyres. It's a drive-through penalty. He had to serve a drive-through as well, so that's going to cost him some time. He's in P10 at the moment, and I think he's going to get out in front of COR Mulan. But he's battling now pretty much with himself. Here's DeLorean, Jay Wills. On his own at the moment, lap 6 of 28. Trying to get into this battle here, but Morgan Forest's manager has done a very good job on that previous lap to try and hold off Sufjan from sort of piling away here, and he's going to have overtake available, and he will have the DRS. Going to make the move here potentially as he comes now around the outside, maybe goes for the late braking maneuver. He's going to go around the outside of the corner. He's going to get run out though, and I think he just knew that was going to happen, and it's a 3-second penalty for track extending as well. He needs to be careful. Look at the inside line for corner zone overtakes right there. The thing is, with them two battling, it's only going to invite PWR DeLorean into the battle. He's biding his time at the back in that Mercedes. They're not going side by side through there, surely. Yeah, Morgan just pulling out of that one. Heading through 20 and 21. It's DeLorean looking very, very quick now, really starting to get on the back of this train here. Early on the power was the Ferrari. That's going to help him through 23. Nicholas pitting. Onto hard tyres now, actually. Well, they're braking for Morgan and DeLorean, actually. And Sufjan looking to try and get a double podium finish here in Division 1 tonight. Doing so, will be taking another 15 points off Division 1's hands. Magnificent shot by an helicopter, isn't it? Do for the late braking again from the McLaren. Oh, it's a mistake from the Ferrari. He's got up on that curb. He's made a mistake. And that's certainly going to invite here the McLaren. Surely he's not going to want to go to overtake yet, though. He's going to want to try and hold off and take the DRS if he can. So he's going to hold off, then turn the overtake back on. DRS now active. And he's going to go down here. Surely he's going to hold on to the inside line if he can. He can't. Here comes DeLorean, who makes a double overtake on them, both of them, and that will really, really annoy the Morgan Forest, who was looking to try and get P3, and DeLorean has just snatched it right off them, and he remains in P4, and Sufjan loses a couple of positions. Good effort from the Mercedes, and Division 2 now back in P3 again. Both of them biding their time around that corner has cost Morgan and Sufjan loads of time, so much so DeLorean, who was just biding his time, has just put himself right back in contention here for a potential podium. On a good strategy as well. Sufjan chooses to pit. He's had enough of this battle. That'll be probably a soft stint now for him. Curiously enough, Hamilton making a mistake at turn 1 again. And this is another mistake that we saw from FFR Hamilton at turn 1, turn 2. He made that mistake and it probably cost him pole. He's made the mistake again on his own back. He needs to be careful. That setup is simply not working for him in that AlphaTauri. AMS Dan also getting into the mix as well. He's 7.5 seconds down on FFR Hamilton, but he is on that same tyre strategy as Hamilton, so they're both racing. Battle for P3 still hearting up at the moment as Morgan Forest on that in the McLaren, looking very strong. But he needs to get past PWR DeLorean, and of course PWR Cookie now also in the mix as well, and he's in the AMS Renault looking very strong to try and make a move here. And he's going to hold off here straight into overtake mode surely, and Morgan can't defend off this. He's struggling here. DRS open, no overtake mode needed for PWR Cookie, and it looks to me as if he's just taken the move right out of Morgan Forest, and it's 5th place now for the McLaren driver. He's struggling out there, and I think all that battling with Sufjan has cost him so much time and so much energy on the engine that it's been spent. And DeLorean and Cookie now in P3 and 4 respectively, and Cookie looking mighty quick as well, and he is on that medium tyre that he is started on, so he does need to pit still. That medium tyre is still looking fairly strong at the moment. And remember, these guys will be double stopping onto softs unless they choose to use the hard tyre, and Hamilton is pitting now. See what tyres he's using, and he is going for a set of medium tyres, so he's doing the middle stint of the medium. This is going to be his worst stint for him, and he's coming out now behind V Recluse. Will he come out behind Hoonigan? It's not likely. So FFR Hamilton will come out in clean air in P6 as Morgan Forrest is really now starting to struggle here with these particular tyres. He is really not looking comfortable at the moment, is that McLaren runner, and PWR Cookie rather for AMS Renault looking to try and close down that gap, as I said, on PWR DeLorean, who is currently in P2 at the moment. Very strong indeed, looking for a little bit of an early move potentially there, but it didn't look like it was working quite just yet. PWR DeLorean here going to have to defend hard. He's going to hold off to the inside line if he can. Cookie's going to have to go around the outside, but it looks to me as if he's going to make the move stick here. And very, very easily down the straight. Cookie now promoted to second place. He won't be defended as Morgan tries to go for the late braking manoeuvre, but there's nothing there. And he's still struggling here to try and hold off here. And remember, he's going to get into a battle with V. Recluse as well. And FFR Hamilton is there as well, remember. He's going to try and start making some moves here soon. He's going to get stuck in traffic. And that is really, really going to harm his performance in this race. All of the drivers in front of him need to pit. And it looks to me as if AMS Dan is not pitting. So he's taking advantage here of FFR Hamilton being stuck in traffic. That's only going to help him out a lot more in this race. Bold call from FFR Hamilton make that move, but of course he doesn't know the drivers around him as V. Recluse really struggling with internet connection as well. Loses the rear again, does FFR Hamilton. Again, his setup not working in wonders here as V. Recluse has pile drived it into the wall. I don't know what Hamilton's doing there, probably trying to shake off whatever's wrong with the tyres at the moment as he heads into turn 1 again. The Alpha Tower is losing time and more time to P1 at the moment. Take a look at the leader's stats at the moment. He's 9 seconds behind AMS Dan. As it stands, Dan will have, well, he'll probably struggle at the moment to get out in front of him by around about 11 seconds. So he has made up time on this stint, but he is going to be losing time here, and that's only going to help him long term, well, AMS Dan. Maybe not in the short term. He's going to make the early move here as FFR Hamilton on V. Recluse. No surprise there. And gets past V. Recluse for P5. He is going to have DRS as well, and he's got plenty of overtake to use as well if he wants to. But I don't know whether V. Recluse might want to defend off this one. He more than has the right to. He is battling for position here. Not sure if FFR Hamilton's going to be too close here for a potential move here, as it looks like there's going to be a bit of a move here between Morgan Forrest and PWR DeLorean. Very tight there. Looks like Morgan Forrest might have squeezed him a little bit into the wall. Invites FFR Hamilton into the mix here. Again losing that rear. Not sure what's happening with that setup of FFR Hamilton's, but it's dire at the moment. I don't know how he's making it work as he heads through into the right-hander here, 90-degree corner, and then he's going to keep it planted now to try and stay on the back here. Wants to make the move stick on PWR DeLorean, who's really struggling through the third sector, and FFR Hamilton's getting caught out, and he's losing time and more time, as it's now only 8.5 seconds here as DeLorean does choose to pit, and Hamilton now in P4. Next victim for him will be Morgan Forrest, but he is going to be battling here as V. Recluse is also choosing to pit as well. So the news that AMS Dan did not want to hear. He's going to make the move into turn 1 by the looks of things. He's going to get squeezed here a little bit. Morgan has every right to battle for this position if he wants to. Getting squeezed into turn 1. It's a wide line into 2. So he's going to be struggling through 3 and 4. He's going to cost him time. He gets cut off by the McLaren. FFR Hamilton won't be keen about what's happening here. Going to make the move around the outside. And Morgan Forrest again relegated out of the podiums. He'll be sick of this now, surely. On board again with Morgan Forrest. You can see now he's started to really lose time already now on FFR Hamilton. Still within the DRS territory, but to me looks as if he's not going to be able to hold on and make a move here. He's not putting it into overtake either, so he's not even going to try by the looks of things late braking. And he's just going to hold the apex to try and battle if he can. FFR Hamilton now into P3. I think this will be an opportunity now for Dan to pit. He's maximised as much as he can from these tyres. And he's going to make a very good stint here if it does go on to another soft stint. And that, I think, is what he's going to do because he is pitting now. He knows Hamilton's managed to get through all the traffic. He is going to come out behind him, but he can make a very, very good strategy here considering he's gone longer on that soft tyre. You'd be expected to pit around about now if you're on the medium tyre. He's done it on the soft, so it's a good effort. And Cookie now takes the lead of this race, but he is yet to pit still. Here comes Hamilton, who makes that overtake, and Morgan. AMS Dan now in the pits to change now onto another medium tyre. So he's hoping to do the double MS strategy. Oh, correct me if I'm wrong, so I know he started on the soft tyre onto the mediums now, so he'll be doing another stint of softs at the end. So theoretically, if he can make the tyres work as long as he did for the softs, he could actually go to the end and just do the one stop. It'll be interesting to see if that works. It is full damage here tonight. Usually SynergyPWR using the strict corner cutting method in Division 1 and simulation damage. And simulation damage, of course, makes for drivers being extra careful when they race. But at street circuits like this, it's reduced to full. As V Recluse comes into the pit now for hard tyres. Not been a good race of V Recluse here. It's only going to see FFR Hamilton stretch out his lead in the championship. Oh, he's gone wide at turn 1 as well. As soon as he leaves the pits, the hard tyres are not going to be comfortable to race on. The AlphaTauri looking a lot stronger on pace here going into that corner, the right-hander. 90-degree corner. As we've got someone crashed at turn 26, I believe, turn 23, sorry, and that is Richie Evans in the AlphaTauri, who I don't believe has actually got an entire front wing now. I think he's going to be struggling with understeer for an entire lap now. And yeah, he's missing an entire left section. The Division 2 driver really struggling here tonight. Look at that. Really struggling out there. PWR Cookie does choose to pit now, though. It will be a set of soft tyres, as predicted. Hooligan now on 8-lap-old mediums, now in second place, 8.5 down on Hamilton, who is having the race of his life at the moment. It's Richie Evans, 10-second penalty for exceeding track limits. He's struggling out there at the moment. Not sure what happened there. May have actually cut the corner to let his teammate through, but you're not actually meant to go off the track. Be Recluse with a 3-second time penalty, and that's for multiple warnings. Hoonigan now up there as well. It's going to be interesting to see how the strategy goes here. 4 and a bit seconds between Cookie and Dan, but they are on alternate strategies. And Cookie on that soft tyre now. And the wheel runner, that's what the W stands for on the graphic. AMS Renault. Looking to capitalise on what was an absolutely firework performance at Bahrain. I say firework, it's because he took off like one. Interesting clip. It's definitely worth watching. He is in the stream. In the video manager, worth having a look. Potential battle is starting to brew in here for a potential move for P5 at the moment here as Morgan 4S on the hard tyre. Looking to get close here with Suffian on the medium, but they are aging, and Vicolas on hard tyres as well. They probably will go to the end as Richie Evans has retired. And it looks to me as if he's retired actually around about turn 17, turn 18. You'll see him as we come across here. He did have that wing damage, and it looks like he just couldn't deal with it. And he's binned it into the wall. There's his car there, look. That's Richie Evans out of the race. No safety car, though. Which would certainly mess up FFR Hamilton's race. But Morgan not looking too bad on the hard tyre, actually. As he completes his first lap now. And Suffian looking to try and defend here if he can. He is on aged mediums, though. And it looks like to me they will start to struggle. But we are on that main straight now. As Rosai gets a 3-second penalty as well. Not a bad race from her, actually. 8th place at the moment. But Morgan looking mighty quick on those hard tyres. Look how quickly he's managed to catch up. A little bit more traction maybe on the acceleration here for Suffian, but Morgan is close enough to maybe make an overtake here. Might pop it into overtake and open the DRS here. Suffian is out of DRS here, and Morgan will be invited to look at a potential overtake here. He's going to have to make it around the outside. It looks like Suffian is going to be defending that inside line. Here he comes now, late braking. He did get a 3-second penalty last time he did this one, and he will have to cut back up on the inside, get the best of the traction if he can. Gets cut off by the Ferrari. Move is not there unless you're on the inside. Goes for the late braking manoeuvre. Looks like he might make it work as well. And what a move from Morgan. Sufjan did leave the space there, in fairness. Sufjan did leave the space, in fairness, and Morgan went for the move. Fair play. P6 for the McLaren. PWR Cookie setting fastest lap of the race in P4 at the moment. He is on that fresh soft tyre and gaining rapidly on AMS Dan. And remember, they're both now going to be going to the end of this, to the next stint, which will both be a double soft stint. So it's quite an important sort of strategy call here between Renault. Who are they going to put in front? Bozai now in the pits as well. Fresh front wing for her, down to 10th. And she's going on to another medium tyre. That probably will go to the end of this race. But she will have to be careful. Mulan comes across now to take P10 off Bozai now as well. But not a bad effort indeed from these drivers now. That's a double points finish at the moment for Red Bull, but they've not had the best race, have they? Red Bull will be disappointed here, as it looks like there has been a switch at the front. AMS Dan and Cookie not really battling that hard going into the apex. And Cookie on that soft tyre, bearing in mind. Dan choosing to start on that soft tyre. I did say that that strategy would be disappointing when it comes to this middle stint, and that's what he's currently going through now, because he's now off the podium. So now we just have to hold off here and race with PWR Cookie. Remember, Cookie, Division 2 and Division 1 world champion. That's for Season 1 and Season 2. And then losing his crown to his teammate AMS Dan, who's now behind him in P4. He goes even faster even with the overtake. 1 minute 37.364. Great effort. Bozai and COR Mulan getting into a bit of scraps as well for that final point. Mulan not having the greatest race here in P11 at the moment in Division 1. Taking a look here happening as well. Still in the DRS territory here is AMS Dan. He's actually just set the fastest Sector 1 of anyone so far as well. And he's cutting corners here, so I think he's taken a few L's to try and keep on the back of his teammate, and he will be getting warnings for it. And he's still within that DRS territory as they go down the straight here, but the question is, does he have enough power on that steering wheel? It looks to me as if he does. But he's not using overtake until very last minute. He's using just to pump the car along, just to stay in sight with PWR Cookie, which is really what he needs to do here if he wants to race with them, because remember, they are both doing a double soft stint at the end. And fair play Vicolas as well in P5 at the moment. Fastest Sector 2 of anyone from AMS Dan. He's starting to really push hard on these medium tyres here. Cookie looking mighty quick though in that third sector. The soft tyres working in wonders. I say that, he's just gone off the track there, and that's going to cost him some time. It's cost him a lot of time actually, about 3 tenths, but a massive lock-up from AMS Dan. Misses the apex. Not going to help him there as he comes through now down onto the straight. Not the fastest third sector as a result, so he's not getting that fastest lap point as it stands, but he is still actually in battle with PWR Cookies. That really good effort here. World champion drive from the defending world champion in P4 at the moment. Well, looking to try and close down the gap. Surely not an overtake at this particular point. They will go for probably on the next one. Not the best lap from Cookie. He's under a bit of pressure here. Both of the drivers locking up a little bit. I want to try and hog the inside line if he can. Cookie's missed it. Dan hasn't. But better traction for Cookie has helped him out here. And he's going to need to put his foot down here, will Dan. He's got the DRS and overtake available, but it looks to me as if, again, he's not going to make that move. But he is staying with his teammate at the moment. That's really going to help Renault, because he's now starting to close down the gap on Hoonigan. Look at that. Hoonigan really struggling at the moment here. Oh, losing the traction again is Hoonigan. And at the moment, 12 lap old mediums at the moment for that Renault driver. For that Ferrari driver, rather. 3 laps on the softs at the moment. for PWR Cookie is looking very strong, but getting in the dirty air, and that's really, really going to help the Renault. I'll get there in the end. Wow, the Renault driver behind him. And he stays out another lap, we know that much. And we're going to be starting his 13th lap on the medium tyre. And it's a good effort here, actually, from the Ferrari driver. We're going to have to try and hold off these drivers a few laps, though. No doubt he's going to be pitting at some point in the next couple of laps. Cookie and Dan won't be. It's a good effort here from PWR Cookie. Really, really getting intense and close at the moment here with the driver in P2. And Hoonigan really, really strong at the moment as well. Remember, this is the Division 2 World Champion from Season 2. And they're both World Champions here. The Season 2 World Champion from Division 2 Hoonigan versus the Season 2 Division 1 World Champion PWR Cookie. And he'll overtake him here. An intense battle there. That is going to be really, really helping out AMS Dan. If Hoonigan lets him by. As it stands at the moment, it looks like Dan will have to now get past another driver. He's starting to lose sight of Cookie. That's going to harm his race long term. Blue flags have been waved for the Williams rather in P12. And a mistake from Hoonigan. Not sure if he's ploughed into the wall. Looks like he might have done, but just got away without damage. Simulation damage here at SynergyPWR. Full damage, though, on the street circuits as he does coming straight into the pits. And Hoonigan now going on to that soft tyre. Now invites AMS Dan into this. I'm not sure if he's managed to get DRS here off of the lapped car. I don't think he has. But the gap, look at that, 1.6 seconds. That's what that being stuck behind Hoonigan has cost AMS Dan. Big thank you. Offside Tail popping into the chat saying, how do I join? Well, if you wanted to join SynergyPWR People's World Racing, you just need to drop a message on Twitter to @Synergy_PWR. And you will be tested by our testing team here at SynergyPWR, and potentially you might see yourself on the screen here next week at the Chinese Grand Prix, believe it or not. FFR Hamilton now coming towards the main straight. Good effort so far actually from these drivers here. FFR Hamilton now maintaining that gap of around 7 seconds to Cookie. He is on that fresh soft tyre, but they are 5 laps old and they are going to be aging very, very quickly. And that will cause some problems later down the line. Actually starting to pull the gap even still now. 7.6 seconds to PWR Cookie. Doing a good job actually as FFR Hamilton with 8 laps to go. Probably will be pitting again though. Oh, losing that rear again though. He's got to be careful, hasn't he, as FFR Hamilton. One person who doesn't know, it's Hoonigan. He can go to the end of this race now on these fresh soft tyres, and he's looking mighty quick versus the hard tyre runner Vicolas. So much later on the brakes. He might have missed his apex just a little bit, but considering how much later he was than Vicolas, not that much of an overspeed. It's been a not bad debut in Division 1 here for Vicolas. He will be relegated to P5 though. That fresh soft tyre for Hoonigan working wonders for him. Gap now 12.7 seconds to the guy in front. That's AMS Dan. And then 15 seconds to PWR Cookie. Remember, these drivers still have to pit. I'll take a look at the leaders' standings at the moment when it comes to the intervals. And the gap is actually 23 seconds. It's around a 20-second pit stop around here as well. If he finds another 3 seconds and FFR Hamilton does not pit, Hoonigan could be in a chance of winning this race here on strategy. It may be a bold strategy call. Coming in that little bit earlier for the soft tyre. But it could work for the number 14. He just needs to find that time as Siwa Mulan has retired. He's retired in the pits and called it quits for the Red Bull driver, who didn't feel comfortable from the start by the looks of things, and he's out of the running in P11. Big shame for Mulan. Didn't feel comfortable at Vietnam. Fingers crossed he'll be back for the Chinese Grand Prix next week. PWR Cookie does choose to pit, and it will be another set of soft tyres to the end of this race. But Hoonigan gets fastest lap of the race and will overtake Cookie. As will Vicolas as well, so he's actually got to overtake a couple of cars here by the looks of things as Cookie. And there goes Vicolas. So yeah, Cookie will have to make a double overtake here. He has to make a move on Vicolas. In fact, no, he's not. Vicolas has actually let him through. He didn't need to. It looks to me as if he didn't really want to race with him. And thinking about his own race. Either way, 5th place now for Vicolas, 4th place for PWR Cookie, and I'm sure, very sure, Hoonigan won't be happy about that particular situation. 3-second time penalty now for Vicolas as well. Good effort though from PWR Cookie so far in this race. P4 for him at the moment. Remember, we'll take a look at the position changes. He started in 5th place, gained a position, now up to 4th. As Vozai goes fastest of anyone at the moment in P10 at the moment, so she will be getting that fastest lap point. At 36.2. You're only going to want to try and pull down the gap if you can. He's got a 19-second gap at the moment as it stands to FFR Hamilton. This will be a very, very close call here in the pits. Going to make sure that he gets this particular section right here. He's been struggling in the 3rd sector as Hoonigan, so he's going to want to push here. Here comes FFR Hamilton into the pits. He does need to go onto that soft tyre now to the end of this race. No doubt Dan will be staying out. But it's important here. It's going to be pretty crucial for Hoonigan to try and get out in front of FFR Hamilton if he wants to try and take potentially a win here tonight. FFR Hamilton just about to leave the pits here. And here it comes now, does the Ferrari. Will he be able to stay out in front of FFR Hamilton? He has come out in front of him as he initially come out in the pits, but will he be there as soon as he gets round turn 1? He will be. And there, FFR Hamilton has just made it work. Oh, who's going to be disappointed with that? .5 seconds was all it needed. Did say he just needed that one extra lap, and FFR Hamilton wasn't going to give it him. And now he's in prospective P1 as it stands at the moment still. Gap 1.3 seconds though to Hoonigan, and Hoonigan has every possibility to try and close down the gap. Here's AMS Dan. At the moment you can see 6.5 seconds, that's what it looks like. He does still need to pit though. But he did make a very, very long soft stint, so theoretically he could go to the end of this race. The question is, will he make the one stop work? Wipeout popping into the chat saying he doesn't need to stop. No, he doesn't need to stop, but if his tyre degradation is too significant, he might choose to. But he did make a very long first stint on the softs, 10 laps to be exact. And he is staying out that little bit longer. The question is, will he have enough time to be able to take the victory here tonight and get FFR Hamilton, or will FFR Hamilton, Hoonigan and Cookie all get within that parameter? Either way, Dan looking very healthy for a potential podium tonight. Great effort so far from these drivers. As I've said, the lap 23 of 28, FFR Hamilton on that fresh soft tyre now. Fastest first sector of anyone, and he's going to be pushing hard here to get the fastest lap and getting to the brink of AMS Dan's territory. Though I have no suspicion whatsoever if Dan is going to the end of this race, he will defend hard. And using a lot of his overtake down the straight here. Won't have DRS, of course. The Honda-powered car really stretching his advantage over Hoonigan at the moment. Himself, PWR Cookie, really not pushing that hard either at the moment. Remember, the 4 laps old as well, are those soft tyres as well, so they will start to struggle towards the end of this race for Hoonigan, so he needs to start considering tyre preservation. Second place is gone, it's not happening. through that turn 23. I've seen a lot of people make mistakes there, but it is the fastest lap of the race for FFR Hamilton at the moment. It's 19 points for him. And he'll only be extending his lead in the championship after a poor race from V. Recluse in 7th at the moment. Just not making any strategy work for him. He's on that hard tyre at the moment. The gap now 1.7 seconds, and there is AMS Dan. He's got 4 laps to try and hold off someone on a fresh soft tyre. He's going to be struggling here. But I have a sneaky suspicion he is going to the end of this race now. Trying to make the one-stop work, but it's just not the strategy to be on. See, they're just gaining buckets of time at the moment. It is FFR Hamilton. So much later on the brakes as well. Look at that. Oh, nearly getting into the gearbox, actually. Did the Alpha Tauri. But the Renault driver looking strong. He just cannot make this medium stint work, and to me it looks very much as if he's gonna get it's gonna be inevitable that he will lose P1. The question is, will he lose any other positions? FFR Hamilton looking very strong around the outside of turn 21 into 22. Big lock up from AMS Dan, who just can't make it work. And it was an early overtake. I don't think AMS Dan even predicted, but Hamilton was just so much more faster. And Dan is now relegated to P2. Dan is up 6 positions at the moment, though. He did start in 8th, so this one-stop strategy, regardless, is giving him buckets of positions. The question is, can he hold off the next 3 laps on an attack from Hoonigan and potentially his teammate to get on the podium tonight? So weird popping into the stream moderator asking about front right tyre of AMS Dan's. It's all possible that front right tyre is not looking strong, and remember, this is a tyre with high tyre degradation. It's probably a very unhealthy tyre at the moment, maybe some blistering, but he's still within the DRS territory though of FFR Hamilton, which is certainly going to help his case here to try and defend off Hoonigan, who is really not looking strong on this soft tyre. We did say he was a lot better on that medium, but he's still gaining off of Cookie at the moment. Back to that battle for P1 at the moment. Now, this is where we're going to see him lose buckets of time here. The medium tyres are not going to be at their best around this 3rd sector, and the soft tyres are just going to be so much more grippy, and he can get on the power so much earlier. And I think within just a few corners, it's 4, maybe even 5 tenths FFR Hamilton on Dan, and I think Dan will just have to concede that the win is out of reach. But a 2nd place from P8 on the grid on a one-stop strategy around here would be magnificent, as we have 2 laps to go in this race. Wipeout saying the question about Dan having a really good race. He has. He's had a very good race, made the strategy work for him, extending that first stint on the softs. 13 lap old mediums now. They are at the end of their life. Surely there's going to be a cliff edge very soon for AMS Dan. Will he be able to hold off attacks from Hoonigan and Cookie? It remains to be seen. Good effort from Vicolas, by the way, on the hard tyre. 19 laps, 5th place for him. Morgan in 6th. Recluse in 7th, and then the Division 2 runner-up last race, yesterday. Sufyan in 8th. And Rosai may be looking for a move as well on PWR Hamster for P9. We'll go to that action right now, actually. On her debut, her return rather, to SynergyPWR. And she's certainly got a challenge here. P10, not best race from her. She didn't qualify very well though, that must be said. Did retire out of Q2. But she's certainly got a challenge in this division right now, because we've got some amazingly quick drivers. Starting lap number 27 here, and Hoonigan really starting to get onto the back of AMS Dan now. Surely those tyres are at the end of their life. On simulation damage, it would probably be a puncture at some point. Rear tyres looking reasonably okay. Potential blistering on that front right, though. And full damage here tonight, of course. Remember, not simulation. Full damage as we are at a street circuit. Otherwise, it would be simulation damage as we have in usual SynergyPWR circumstances. And we're back at simulation damage at China. It's next week, same time as usual on Tuesday and Wednesday nights. So we have there the overtake here as Vozai and Hamster getting into a bit of a squabble at turn 22. Looks to me as if Vozai just wanted the move done. She does make the move on Hamster for P9, but it's P10 at the moment, so 1 point gain for Division 2 drivers here tonight. Back to this battle though, and Hoonigan really now on the brink here of making a potential P2 here. He'll really want this as well. Standings weren't looking very healthy for Hoonigan. 7th place, 12 points. Oh, he's just hit the wall. Not sure if he's got damage. Looks like he's just got away with it, but he's getting too keen here. He knows he's got the faster car, but he's got an entire lap to get past Dan. Don't make mistakes. 12 points at the moment versus Brian and Mulan. Mulan's retired and Brian hasn't raced. This will be a big jump up in the standings here for Hoonigan if he gets second place. He'll jump to 30 points, and that'll put him prospectively at the moment P4 from P7, and that's the top 6 that he really, really wants. Again, trying to defend hard here is AMS Dan, but it looks to me as if he's really, really not looking strong here. Surely not an early manoeuvre here for Hoonigan. Big lock-up from AMS Dan. He just has no traction at all. Sector 3, yellow flags waved. That might be because of Vozai, who's made a mistake in the 3rd sector, and she's now back down to P10 again. She'll be disappointed with that because she's not only going to get the single point here on her return. DRS will be open, though, for Hoonigan. He's got very limited overtake left. Will he be able to make the move here on AMS Dan? I don't think he can. I think he's too far back here. He's going to struggle here. Might have to make the dive going into the turn, and he can't. But he's going to have the better traction, surely, and that's going to eye him up here. He's lost the rear, and that's not going to help him out either. Hoonigan really needs this second place in the table if he wants to make it work, as Vozai has crashed. In fact, no, she's retired in the pits. So she will not be getting 10th place. She will not get a single point here, and it will be Paul Davey who will take the point. Oh, he's gone wide. As we go back on board with FFR Hamilton, he comes across the turn 23 now, and he'll extend his lead in the championship. He wins the Vietnam Grand Prix. Here comes AMS Dan. It's a valiant effort from the AMS driver, and the AMS Renault will finish in P2 in the end. With Hoonigan in P3, he'll be disappointed with that. He knew he should have had P3, but too many mistakes on that final run, as Cookie is trying to defend hard here from Vicolas. He's made a mistake. He's got front wing damage as Cookie, but I think Vicolas is going to end up losing out, clouding into the wall. Cookie in 4th, Vicolas in 5th. In the end, 22 lap old stint as well for Vicolas on that hard tyre. It's a good effort. Here comes Morgan 4S for P6 in the end, and it'll be Viva Clues in 7th on the hard tyre. Kai will be disappointed with that one. Sofian in 8th. And here comes Hamster in P9 at the moment as well. And the Division 2 drivers will be snagging a couple of points at the back as well. Vozai deciding to retire in the pits. Even though she was on for a point for some reason, she's now going to be leaving without anything at all, because I think Paul Davey will overtake her in the pits as he comes across the finishing line. We'll have to double check on that one, but here comes PWR Hamster. He comes across the line to take P9. In fact, to stand corrected, it will be a point actually in the end for Vozai. The driver of the day, no doubt, going to AMS Dan. Great effort from FFR Hamilton, though. Tried to back off the one-stopper, and he gets another win under his belt. Congratulations to AlphaTauri. Good effort indeed. AMS Renault gets a 2nd place in the end with Dan's one-stop working him well, making that first stint on the softs work wonders. And it will be a 3rd place in the end for the driver, who I think really worked hard for that performance in the end, but it was not going to be a second place for Hoonigan. 4:03. He had the 3-second penalty anyway, but we'll take a look at the final spots on this race here tonight. Hamilton does take the lead of the championship and extends it by a long stretch as well. First place for him with Dan in second, Hoonigan in third, Cookie in fourth, Vickles in fifth. Morgan will be disappointed with sixth. I think of Recluse Kai will be very disappointed with seventh from pole. And it will be a two-stop strategy for Sufjan from fourth. He'll drop to eighth with Hamster in ninth, and Vozai in the end will finish in 10th place and a lap down after retiring in the pits. Paul Davey in 11th with Mulan in 12th. There's a DNF obviously for Mulan with DeLorean in 13th. Richie Evans, Clapp and Pez also DNFing from this race. Well, that's it from myself and the rest of the team here at SynergyPWR People's World Racing. We're back for the Chinese Grand Prix at the same time as usual, 8 o'clock from the UK's start time. And we look forward to joining you on a Tuesday and a Wednesday night again for that Chinese Grand Prix. But thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye for now.